It's a divisive climate right now.
Oh, for sure.
2020 elections, baby.
The ultimate goal at the end of the day is to spread the gospel.
What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan.
And I'm Noah.
Noah's back. And today we're talking about conservatives, liberals, politics. Is it worth losing friends over, or are we making too hard stands and should we just back off and not talk about politics?
Yeah.
Because it's a divisive climate right now.
Oh, for sure.
2020 elections,
sure.
baby.
A show. But first, before we get into that, make sure you subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. We make videos on culture and social issues from a Christian perspective to help you have hope.
And be free. Alrighty. Noah, you're on TikTok. You are being bold on there. I know you got stories.
Oh, my goodness.
Have you lost some friends because you've chosen...
Speak out.
Yeah,
Oh,
to
countless.
speak out.
Countless.
No.
There's this one person, I had told them that I was like, because I personally don't believe politics has to be everything you talk about. I do not believe you should lose friends because of politics, unless they're going to be really intolerant, make it their whole personality and everything.
Yeah.
But there was this friend that we hadn't been getting along recently that we used to be really close, and I was like, listen, politics shouldn't be everything. Can we just be friends? We can maybe hang out with some friends this weekend. And she was like, yeah, sure, totally. And then I was like, all right, bet, when do you want to do it? And she said, psych, we can't be friends, especially since you don't support the Black Lives Matter movement.
Oh, no.
She psyched you?
She psyched you.
I still have the text on my phone.
That hurts.
She said psych? That is low.
It left a little bit of a sting, especially because we had been so close and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it left a little bit of a sting,
Bummer.
Well, I guess the question, or maybe the response would be, okay, I don't want to lose friends. Friendships are so important to me, so I am going to pull back and stop being outspoken on these political stances that I have. So should that be in the picture or no?
No, not at all. I do not think so, at least. So one thing that I will never do is I will never change myself for anyone. And I'm a political person. I like being outspoken.
As long as you will be okay with changing yourself if the Lord...
Yes, obviously.
Okay, fair enough.
As of now, the things I stand for, I'm outspoken about them. I'm not going to back down from them. And if someone unfriends me or something because of where I stand politically, maybe they just were never meant to be my friend in the first place.
That is interesting. I was talking to Noah the other day, and he did say, and I believe him 100%, I'm not out trying to make these controversial stances just for the sake of controversy. I don't want to lose friends. And I get that. We don't want to lose friends either.
Right.
But it's is what you're standing on worth potentially losing friends over? And like Noah just said, maybe if they're piecing out, or, it's just such stark contrasts in what you believe, obviously try to love them.
Yeah, for sure.
Try to show Christ to them, but sometimes, as Jesus said, children are going to turn against parents. And I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. There is going to be division because there is ultimately evil in the world. Mm-hmm. We got to be able to embrace that on some level.
Well, and one thing I preach, though, is be tolerant when you're discussing things like this. And I also say you should not lose friends over a political opinion, and you should try to respect most opinions. And I respect basically all political opinions besides the stance on abortion, because I do believe it's very unchristian-like, and I believe it's immoral and stuff like that. And I can still be friends with people who are pro-choice and stuff like that. I just don't respect the opinion. But any other stance on anything, I can respect it. I'm not going to be a jerk to anyone because they're Democrat or anything. I have more Democratic friends than I do Republican friends.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah, I get messages pretty often from young girls who are either I'm kind of waking up and realizing that I can't believe these things anymore, and so I'm becoming more of a conservative, and my friends are kind of shunning me or giving me crap for it. How do I deal with that? How do I be okay with that? And I don't really have the perfect answer or anything, but I do feel like the Lord has revealed to me and Paul just recently, really, no matter what, Jesus is the answer. Whether someone wants to believe that or not, we know as believers, as God's children, that Jesus is the answer.
Jesus and his word, God's word, supersedes politics.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It does. But so many people are quick to completely peel them apart and say, if you're a Christian, you only focus on Jesus and you remove yourself completely from politics. To me, that's starting to look a little bit scary. That's unbiblical. And we as believers, especially when God puts it on our hearts, we're called to go into the different realms of influence.
Yeah.
And when I lose friends, and not even just for politics, politics aside, when I lose people in my life that I was really close to, just praying and knowing that God has a purpose and his fulfillment for my life, just praying for all of that, man, it just gives me comfort to know that it might hurt now, but knowing that I have God to walk with me in the future, it's an amazing feeling.
It is a relief.
To
And
know
there's
that
hope.
he's with you.
Yeah, if you're losing friends, like Noah said, having that hope that God is walking with us. So even if we're on this journey alone, all by ourselves, we've got no one walking with us, but God is still calling us to this path, then you can trust that he is with you. He has not left
Though
you.
none go with me,
here we go.
I still will follow.
Okay.
Though none go with me. I know with politics, there are absolutely some areas that are a little bit gray. And so I would hope that none of us would be like, you disagree with me on this? It's so obvious to me, and take this proud, condescending stance. We don't need to, especially on the gray areas. Let's have healthy discussion.
Yeah.
When it comes to abortion, like Noah said, that's an area where we're not gonna cave and budge. But I would also equate this losing friends. Some people are just so cautious. I will do anything not to lose a friend. It kind of goes with if your friend is living in sin and deceived and headed towards hell, is the loving thing not to say anything because you might lose that friend? No, the loving thing is to warn them, to passionately warn them and try to save them from hell, for eternity in hell. You know what I mean? There's a place to stand for truth and speak the truth in love. And some of that, I think, would apply here.
It's super important. God calls us over and over to humble ourselves, to be humble, to have a humble heart. And so even if you think 100%, and maybe you are 100% right in your beliefs, you still need to have a very humble heart about it. Paul and I are learning. We're learning how to have humble hearts in this journey that the Lord has called us on, and being bold and being confident in what we're speaking on. It's okay to be confident, but to still be humble and to recognize that you might be confident on this right now, but be open to the Lord changing your heart about it later.
And Ben Shapiro, I really appreciate Ben Shapiro, but one of his big slogans is facts don't care about your feelings. And that can be taken to an extreme where you're just I'm right because these are the facts. And you might have all the facts, but you're not approaching the topic in love. You're not treating that person, even if you're totally right, treating them in love. So I would agree, let's try, the Bible talks about, as much as we can, live at peace with the people you're around, as much as you can. But Jesus, at the same time, he was the Prince of Peace, but again, he knew that he was going to be bringing division. And so you got to be okay with both. And Christians are so quick to jump on one Bible verse and then make this whole ideology around it. Okay, Christians can't make a stand because it says turn the other cheek. It's relax, Christians, and let's look at the Bible as a whole and do a little deeper study and bring some other people that might be a little wiser than us, than you, into the conversation.
I feel like our world is the most divided it's ever been.
Very divided. And the church.
Yes, and the church. And it's just wait, what? The church? We should be uniting right now. Yeah. And instead we're fighting about these things.
Especially within the church, let's go even further out of our way, asking God, help us to love these people. We may actually agree more than we realize, so let's not be offended. The Bible says the righteous should not be offended. They're not offended. And let's go to them and try to grow and be okay with challenging one another, but it doesn't need to ruin our friendship.
One thing that I think would be better for society, instead of just completely arguing about these things, I think we need to find common ground and try to unite and work together on fixing these different topics in politics today. Personally, I don't think abortion should be legal. I mean, that's one thing I'll never budge on, but things like Republicans are generally speaking very pro-2A and Democrats aren't pro-2A. We need to find ways
Second Amendment.
We need to find ways to unite on that stuff. Same with the Medicare thing. We need to find ways to make it more accessible and stuff, but I don't think it should be completely free and stuff like that. We need to unite. Everybody works better together than separate.
That's true.
The ultimate goal at the end of the day is to spread the gospel of the Lord.
Yeah.
And definitely don't turn the way you look at politics or how much you're into it as an idol. I mean, I'll be honest.
Oh, that is good. Say it again.
I was starting to see that I was turning into an idol, and I was basically praising all this stuff, because this is when I started getting bigger. It's when I hit like 5,000 or something on TikTok. And then I took about a week off TikTok, and I took time to pray, and I took time to get my mind off of things.
That's mature. That's mature.
Just don't take anything that you're passionate about and turn it into an idol.
That's really good.
I love that.
Really good. I think that is a huge, huge thing that we're seeing is like politics and conservatism and liberalism are becoming idols when, like I said earlier, Jesus is the answer. He is the way, the truth, the life, the answer. And don't get me wrong, it's okay to be passionate about this stuff. Sure. And that's something that Paul and I have had to come to a conclusion of. It's okay that we're passionate about this stuff. And the Lord has not only given us these passions, He's calling us to address these passions and talk about them. But the enemy can work really slyly. And so we have to be very careful with where our hearts are.
Guard your heart.
Yeah.
Always.
Above all else. Check yourself.
Always be willing to listen.
Before you
wreck yourself. Right. Guys, crazy fact here. Paul was Noah's 5th grade teacher.
He was my 5th grade teacher, so...
He's an old fart over here.
Okay. Don't need to use the F word. Noah, thank you once again for tuning in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's been a pleasure having you here.
I had a great time. Good conversation. For sure.
Guys, comment below. What are your thoughts? Have you experienced this where you've started feeling tension in your friendships as you make stands and speak out on this? Let us hear your stories. We want the conversation to continue in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you appreciated the dialogue that we had here with Noah, with Morgan. Guys, we love ya. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll catch you again very soon. Have hope.
And be
free.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Oh my.